So that everybody hates black men. I am your host, Edward Anderson. I got kind of like a sinus situation, so bear with me with my voice. It is what it is. Shout out to y'all that watched that coping video. A lot of good comments. I know one person left a comment. I don't know if he's a baller. He left. I can't stand when people make vague comments, especially if I don't know if they trying to talk shit or they trying to I don't know what he's saying. So my comment was like if this is like you trying to say I'm trying to cope, I left like a certain commentary basically saying, look, when people say that, it's customary to knock out to dismantle one or two arguments just so you can say, oh, this is coping, this is projection, and give a little statement so I at least know you trying to what side you leaning on with it. But no, I don't like so. But I'm not sure if he was saying that or whatever. But cause I know somebody liked it, so I don't know. But ultimately, man, like dudes gotta. Black men have been enduring like what we've been enduring for a long time. It's white dudes that are new to this, right now. And it's funny when you see stuff like Nick Fuentes. I saw that a little bit on art stuff, and you see like these wannabe whites, these adjacent, these tragic, they're not white, but they want to be in the club so bad. Those types, it's really crazy, yo, because those are the ones that go the hardest. And it's like, again, I said this before and I'm gonna say this again, white people got way bigger problems than the typical everything black people and immigrants want. They got they don't really, it's very obvious. And that's not why I went live. I'm talking about something else, but it's very obvious, very, 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 very obvious that for a lack of a better term, I mean, there's no other. Yeah, I don't feel like going this way. There's no other real way, and utterly lost the plot. And when I say lost the plot, what I'm talking about is the world is not the same as it was during Jim Crow, World War II. Like, we actually have a competing currency, which is something we've never had to deal with before. And rather than focusing on getting them rich people in line for y'all, F other races, y'all are essentially just beating up like a step sibling because y'all can't handle the reality of what's going on. It's really even a lot, racism is a form of directed coping that poor whites are directed to do or encouraged to do, so they're not worried about the elite. Black people are not the reason you gotta have two jobs. The reason your women act the way they do. Oh, which is why they don't like it. It's whatever. But I don't know who was doing that, who said that, like what they said, but I wish people would get more specific, because those little ambiguous comments, I can't stand this be all, this end all be all comment, this end all be all comment, thinking, that is anything. Like, y'all really think that you leaving a comment is gonna change? Some of y'all really believe that leaving a comment is gonna change the world. I'm convinced y'all really low-key believe that you leaving a little comment, it doesn't mean anything. I'm not saying me making my video mean anything. Growth of the email I sent somebody, so I'm just putting content out there. Shit's funny to me. He said, you low-key feel like a war is coming. No, I mean, well, when you, America's always at war. It's just a matter of, is it a total war or not? America was at war with Afghanistan. Even war. America was really in war with Iraq, which that was really more of an occupation, not a war. America ain't really fought a real war in a minute. In a minute, if you really think about it, we've been doing practice stuff. But as far as what would start a war, I mean, the only thing that would really start a war, the closest thing would be China going after Taiwan. And to be honest with you, America cannot stop China from, if China really wants to go after Taiwan, like really wants to say F it, America cannot stop them. Because here's the biggest issue. It's not militarily, yeah, we can make it to where it's not, you know, they don't really want to deal with that yet, because China thinks in long term. So they like, why go now? Is no big, like when you're winning the game, why try to risk things when the force is on your side or the game is on your side? Why risk assets and resources when you don't need to, when you can just let time be what it is? Now, white people don't understand that, because white people act like they got rabies. But the Chinese have not had great experiences with white people anyway, because they've had the opium wars and other stuff that's going on. So they don't. So I'm not gonna say they don't have confidence, but it's like, why take unnecessary risks when things are flowing your way anyway? And plus, China still likes the dollar to feed their system. So that's another thing. That's another thing too. So it doesn't matter. Nothing's really changing. They don't have anything that's really saying, okay, we got to do this right now or never. It's not. They got, at the end of the day, they got the rare earths, and most of the other rare earths are in Africa. And at the end of the day, I mean, that's really check. And I won't say checkmate, but it's check. And so why wait now when you'll be in a better position 4 years later? Why? You got other stuff to worry about. So that's not going nowhere. They're not going nowhere. Taiwan situation ain't changing. So you might as well wait. So they have no incentive to really do. That's why they saying it's going to be like 2030, you know, when they really actually, like around that time, when they really go for it. It ain't like the prospects with America. America is not going to get stronger. America is at best going to stay stagnant, at best get weaker. Because when I say weaker, I'm not talking so much militarily. I'm talking more about how many countries are really on the United States side like that. Even the Europeans, you know, yeah, Trump is going to be gone in 2028. But the reality is, you know, the Democrats don't know what the fuck they're doing either. Both parties don't know what the fuck they're doing. Like, in the sense of, what is the overall vision? What they're doing is they're trying to get water out of the boat. They're trying to dredge water, pump water out of the boat, and the pumpers. The Democrats don't know what the fuck they're doing either. Because what the Democrats want to do is they're just doing the European thing, is bringing a whole bunch of people in here. I mean, I see it all the time, man. Like, when you look at, like, people are paying attention to Hispanics, but the Indians are gaining political power and all of that for their population. So, you know, at the end of the day, if anybody doesn't, if there's a war that happens, I personally think, to answer your question, it's going to be white people that start it. Because America, because Europe is getting their ass kicked in Africa, and they are going to start to very much feel it very soon. You got to remember, the European Union is not great, the Britain is not great, like the European Union is not great, Britain is not doing well. You know, you obviously got Eastern Europe. Most countries are not doing well, although you got Poland coming up, but Poland ain't really relevant in the grand scheme of things. You know, Italy is where Italy is, old population. Greece is still fucked, and those countries are never great, but they're more of a burden. France is losing their money because that dude is holding out, and he's got Russia and China. Russia really backing him. That's why they can't just go in there and deal with it. That's why they got to do all this CIA bullshit, you know, which he's holding out. And the longer he holds out, the more other francophone countries like Cameroon and stuff are gonna grow some nuts. And you know, Russia's like, yeah, I'm gonna press these Europeans hard, just like you think you pressing me with this Ukrainian thing. Which they notice they don't talk about that, because that'll make it look like Russia is actually you know, they more tit for tat than how they're framing it. They don't even talk about the Ukraine war like that no more. You notice that? Notice that? They don't even talk about it. It's like they don't talk about closing TikTok no more. They don't talk about turning off TikTok. You notice that Trump did all these 90-day pushes just to get it out of the cycle. People notice, like your Fox News, your MSNBC, all your main, they're not talking about that. That's why black media is important. That's why where you know, these perspectives, because, you know, I can remind you of that. I'm not saying like I'm important, but you get what I'm saying. They not talking about none of this shit, because it's not. And the problem is, a lot of people, if the mainstream media don't say it, it didn't happen. Just like this Sha'Carri Richardson stuff, they're trying to bury. That's actually what I came live for. They want to bury that shit. But the reality is, because it's on camera and it looks so bad, she's got to apologize. Otherwise, it's get fester. I mean, people are learning with the Tyler situation. If you don't handle like that 4 album, who does 4 albums? That was a test case. That 4 albums she did, that 4 songs, that was a test case to take the temperature in America. And Houston, we have a fucking problem. Because all of that gaslighting and them trying to, you know, shout out, you know, I put a video on my Patreon talking about culture splaining. If y'all want us to the Patreon, members only for now. It only takes $1 to be a member. I mean, it is what it is, you know. I wanted to do something for the members, you know, for a little bit. My TikTok lives also, I'm gonna start calling that the black tape edition, because I'm gonna do black tape on my tapes on TikTok. This is gonna be me talking my shit. Why don't you show your face? I show my face. Shout out to J-Bay for the $10. So I will be putting videos up on TikTok. Those will be like 2-3 minute takes. Fire those out. And so, yeah, to answer your question, long story short, with the war, if there's a war, it's because we started it. We may not directly start it, but we'll start it with a whole bunch of, you know, false flag bullshit. That's how that typically works. And that's not conspiracy. That is what it is. And I'm not anti-America. I'm just saying what it is, man. I don't, you know, because China does not have the need. They don't have enough free reign to go get it without it be creating a lot of problems. And so they might as well wait. I mean, white people are fucking themselves up. Unfortunately, we're on the boat with them. They ain't got no reason to take Taiwan, not like that. They don't need them chips like that. And we can't duplicate those chips. So as far as they're concerned, it's kind of like they already got the rare earths as far as the a lot of the rare earths, and then got a lot of business with Africa. So they don't need the chips. It's not like America. Like if Taiwan was really helping America create duplicate chips, then that might be different. But the problem is Taiwan has no incentive to do that, because then America wouldn't care about Taiwan. So they can bank on that. And they got other problems. Who knows what's going on with Xi Jinping? There's a reason you ain't seen Xi Jinping like that. Ooh, shit. There's a reason you ain't seen Xi Jinping like that. Oh, you know, he could be going through a Biden situation. So there's that too. And China has their own problems. They're not perfect, just like we're not. And they got to manage 1.5 billion people. It's way more people America has to manage. So that's to answer that question. Thanks for asking it. I may cut that and make it its own video. Yeah, but going back to the main reason I went live is for the Sha'Carri Richardson situation. So any y'all been on TikTok or people are starting to talk about it, you kind of tend to get stuff from TikTok first, then it kind of filters into YouTube. But Sha'Carri, she did an apology the other day, like I think 2 days ago or yesterday, and then that apology was a typical black female apology. The kind of, Sha'Carri is, look, man, she's really good at having this kind of female sounding, non-ratchet sounding voice. My name is Sha'Carri, and da-da-da-da. No, you stupid fucking bitch, man. And I'm sorry, we're not even playing that game. Not after what you did in the airport, because really you should have had your ass whooped. I'm not saying he should have ended his career, but real talk, you should have got jacked up by the security in the airport. That's really what should have happened. Straight like that. But so the apology was a bullshit ass apology. Black women couldn't even defend that shit. My name is Sha'Carri. Basically, she did my name is Sha'Carri, and it happened. Basically, it's an acknowledgement of that it happened, and that she did it. Okay, that's on camera, but she didn't really apologize. It's one of these things where it reeks of you gotta say something because your sponsors are making you, because that nigga didn't give us anything to go on. That nigga basically pulled the Jay-Z defense. To just put your shoulder up, weather your short ass, just like Jay-Z did with Solange. Just put your your shoulder up. You can't hit me in my face. The security dude right there, he ain't gonna let me. Say, look, man, just don't let her hit me in the face. If it's a shoulder or body, she can't do shit. That's what he did. He did that tall nigga short shoulder up when he's hitting stab. That's what he did. That's a good defense. That's a good defense. Because if it's on camera, there ain't nothing you can do. Walked away. This dude walking away like he it ain't nothing they can say. And it's on camera. You cook, bitch, you cook. You cook. You can't talk about what happened before because it don't matter. Because that ain't on camera. Yeah. So now, and then a second, that ain't what made me go live. A second video came out. A second video of her of her now talking to the authorities like these accountable commentary, ratchet, rat police interaction videos. And that shit, if that shit don't look just like them videos he be covering, that shit, the bitches do the same shit. Lying, talking about he put his hands on, that is not a man. Like, I'm like, bitch, that's not a good lie. If you was gonna say anything, you should have said that you saw something in his phone and just lost it. By the way, and I'm going here, fuck everybody and everything. I'm not apologizing. Kiss my ass, go to hell. Fuck you. I'm saying that up front before I make this statement. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. The only difference between Chris Brown and Christian is Chris Brown didn't run away. Chris Brown ended that shit. That's the difference. And I'm gonna tell you something else. The difference between Chris Brown and Christian is Christian actually had room to walk away. Christian actually had space to walk around. Who knows if he would have been in a room, if he would have been in a hallway, this is why women love to block your exit. And I'm gonna say this is fucked up. Any bitch that blocks a man's ability to leave deserve their ass to be whooped. When you block somebody's ability to leave, you are no longer a woman. You are a threat. You are an enemy combatant. When you block a man's right to leave, because they say it's your duty to walk away before you defend yourself, game over. If they can ever get you to say that you blocked his ability to leave, what he did no longer matters at that point, unless it was excessive, ultra violence. And you may be able to make that argument. When Chris Brown was in that car and she was hitting him, she was putting her in danger and him in danger. And that's what nobody wants to talk about. I'm not, what people say whatever fuck ever. I've always said Rihanna was a violent bitch. And everybody knew that. Rihanna was violent. And I don't give a fuck what she saw in the phone. The reality of the situation is they could have died. Rihanna could have easily been Aaliyah because of her dumb ass. And people can argue if the shit was excessive, but when you're in a fucking car and somebody's hitting you and you gotta slow down and they're hitting you and you're on a highway, because that's all facts, they're on a highway, you gotta put that threat down. Now, I'm not about, you could argue what Chris Brown did was excessive, and I'm not gonna argue necessarily against that, but Chris Brown didn't just haul off and just start beating her ass, you know, because of something he saw. He was defending himself. And I'm sorry, I'm not gonna, if you live and you ain't got no permanent damage, I'm not gonna apologize for how I defend myself. If you ain't got no permanent damage, you gonna heal, your face ain't fucked up, and you ain't got like no serious mental trauma, you can kiss my ass. And that Christian guy, the difference between him and Chris is he had the space and he had the cameras. That's it. I can't, so I'm in a park. I'm in a parking lot. You know, I'm moving money from one account to another. I'm about to get like a Jehovah's Witness or somebody coming up to my car. Why do y'all do that? I've never understood why you gonna go to. I'm about to go into Panera because, like I said, I got a sinus issue. So I'm about to give me some fucking tomato soup and some shit. And this motherfucker literally about to come up to me on some, are you one with the Lord? I'm like, yo, man, if you don't get the fuck out of my face with that, I ain't gonna say that bullshit. I'm like, I can't even sit in my car in peace. That shit be making me want to wild out. And as soon as I started to leave, I wasn't paying attention to him. He turned around. Yeah, so I mean, at the end of the day, and people can say, "Oh man, I can't believe you saying that. Why you bring that? Shut up." Like this because this happens a lot. Not saying that women don't get hit by dudes, but the reality of the situation is, it's a lot more of them hitting us than us hitting them because the overwhelming response. And the truth is, when you hit a chick, when you hit a chick once, she can always come out at any time. That's a time bomb. She can always say at any time, "Oh my God, you hit me!" And then at that point, nothing she did mattered. You know, paternity fraud. Oh, he used to beat me. Like. Like they can always bring that out, and you saw that. So basically, Sha'Carri in that video, Sha'Carri is like literally the camera is right on her face, like literally, it's almost like she could be popped like the camera is right on her face. So like to the point where I'm surprised Sha'Carri didn't get that out of her face. Like I'm really surprised she didn't do that, because I'm like, wow, this is really up on her face, like some kind of thing. And I'm like, okay, so that was weird to me how close that was to her face, and it even looked like it was a strong zoom. So anyway, so you see it. This is not we don't know what happened. We're not sure. No, it's right up on her face. And it just goes to show you, like, her lack of situational awareness. Like, she really doesn't understand that she's doing something wrong. And that is, like, some of the most damning shit. She really, and I'm not saying this to the point to let her off the hook, but she legit is acting like, I'm like, bitch, are you autistic? Because it's like, you don't understand when you're in the airport. This is bad what you're doing. And so she's sitting there calling Christian scary. He's a coward. Christian didn't go to the like, I don't know. I don't think Christian went to the police. What happened was they saw you acting a fool and somebody went to say something. And I get, oh, you said body cam is okay, so it's probably body cam. Okay, my bad. And so it's like, you're calling him a coward, scary, and I'm surprised they let that footage out. Real talk. Usually they would pay to keep that suppressed. But it's like, you call him coward, scary. This is after the police showed up. And it's like, oh, you're going to press charges on me? Now keep in mind, this dude is not pressing charges on her. Never indicated he was. And he went out of his way in order to defend her, almost as if it's something he did to trigger it. Now this is what I'm pretty sure about. I know it ain't that he cheated, because if he was cheated, that's what she would have said, because that would have got her out of trouble, because she's willing to lie. So I know it's not that. I know it's not that he put his hands on her. That's what she tried to say. Because that's, because obviously they would have, if they had any kind of evidence. Number one, when you put your hands on a female, you don't do that. That's not something, because number one, you're worried about, and oh, well, how do you know? Shut up. Shut the fuck up. If you put your hands on a female, you are worried about, you did that, and you have the posture that you did that. Meaning you're worried about her doing that. So it's not the same thing. It's not. This is a boyfriend, girlfriend couple. Okay. Because I'm not like all up in like what's in the mix of what's going on, but I've seen the little clips here and there. So yeah, so it's like, yo, she's sitting here looking and says, oh, you're gonna break charges with me? Oh, you're a coward, you're scary, you're this, as opposed to what? Putting your fucking little ass through a goddamn wall? I'm 5'5", yo, so I ain't like the biggest person in the world. I'm short, so it's kind of like, yo, you're like, Sha'Carri's like 5'1", 5'2". It's like, yo, so if I take your head and if I remove you from away from my personal space, I'm losing my career. And look, fuck Charlemagne. But Charlemagne said it straight up. Charlemagne said this is a double fucking standard. And you got this bitch, this female on the Breakfast Club, she tried to like defend it, and then she did it, because you can't defend shit. Because it ain't your word versus my word. You see what happened. She ain't saying he did anything before. So, so he trying to save face for her. This is the same bullshit DDG did. And what I would say to Christian is, you gonna have to break up with her, because nigga, your career will be gone. They need to make this your fault. The only way to get her out of this is to make this your fault. So they need to put you down. I don't think you really understand how in danger you are. They need to make this your fault to protect their investment in her. Nike and everybody. So they don't give a fuck about you. I don't give a fuck about how talented he is. He ain't no fucking Michael Phelps. They don't care. and you ain't white. They don't care. So you do any little thing, every little thing is gonna be blown up because they gotta make an excuse for her behavior. And the only way they can do that is by making you the fall guy. So this bullshit with you, I'm with Sha'Carri. I mean, nigga, Sha'Carri is, look, come on, man. She got way too much masculine, like, nigga, please. It ain't worth it. Being with her ain't worth it. It ain't worth it. It ain't worth it. You not gonna have it. Like, I would ask this dude one simple question: is being with her a year worth you not having a career anymore? Is it worth that? Because if it's not worth that, then it ain't worth it. It ain't worth it. You about to ruin your. This only ends one way. She is a violent bitch. She was violent before she got with you, and people need to call it what it is. And yeah, I brought Rihanna into that shit. Rihanna was a violent bitch. She even low-key used to talk about it. And so she messed with a nigga that can crash out, and she got what she was looking for. You hitting something like, I'm sorry, man. If I'm driving in a car, nigga, I did like 11,000 Uber rides. If you touch me in a car, if you're hitting me in a car, you are a mortal threat. I don't give a fuck who you are. You are a mortal threat. I don't think y'all really understand, like, doing that shit while somebody is driving, what that is. So you start hitting somebody, that's an adrenaline rush. But you know, they want to make it political. And yeah, Chris Brown did the most. I'm not going to act like he didn't. It's obvious he was beating her ass after that car stopped. Because you don't have the kind of momentum and leverage to do that shit while you're actually driving. It's obvious once he stopped, he had some residual, like, boom, 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 boom. I get it. But at the end of the day, you hitting somebody in a car, man. You trying to kill me. Christian sounds like an abuse victim. And the problem is, women can do abuse and get away with it. That's the issue. Look at even how Sha'Carri is. Oh, you a coward. You scary. And remember, she said that the apology came after the fact. And I bet you they saw that body cam footage and said, bitch, you better get ahead of this. You better get ahead of this. You calling them names after you on camera beating them up, bitch, you know what you did. You ain't mad. You lucky you ain't getting drug tested. You ain't mad. No, that's who you are. That's who you are. And the thing about it is, we know Christian could have basically ended that shit instantly. And low-key, that's what she was looking for him to do. She was looking for him to retaliate. Because that way, she could say it's mutual combat. You're aware enough to not hit back, but you're not aware enough to understand that you're in mortal danger being around her. Nigga, you hit. Move on. But niggas are stupid, that's how. I've never said he's wrong. I just understand niggas gonna do what niggas want to do. And I leave room for that. As far as what you said about kind of AC saying, you know AC gonna have a field day with that body cam footage. That shit is like a mid-season. This shit is gonna be like a mid-season premiere. You know he gonna have fun with that body cam footage. What's that song that's going around on TikTok? I say praise the Lord. You know, he gonna have fun with that shit. That shit could go viral. And Sha'Carri, oh, you scary, you this, you that. I mean, so she's verbally abusive, physically abusive, all the things that you bitches like to talk about. But because you like her, you want to let that go. Haley Bailey's little ass, same thing. Same thing. Can't let dude gotta fight for his life like R. Kelly fighting to stay out of jail just to see his son. Black women have been lost the plot, but not everybody's realizing. Nigga, don't play me. Don't play me. This don't even do that. Ain't no chitlins. Nigga, I ain't never had no chitlins in my mouth. I mean, what it is, all it is you female identified and you like Sha'Carri. That's it. This is what we say. Same thing with Megan. They all got the same playbook. Yeah, I'm eating whatever. I don't give a man, you know, that most of the time they weren't abused, it was mutual combat. That's not the same thing. Because a lot of women, I don't give a fuck what anybody says, a lot of women like to be handled. That's really the difference between square niggas and this is why they like hood niggas. They like that threat. Because it gives them that micro adrenaline. I told y'all about that. Like, Obsidian told y'all about that hate fucking, and I'm telling you about that adrenaline rush lace sex. These women love that shit. And like any high, you got to do more and more shit. So they put themselves in encounters to get that feeling again. Niggas is just happy to hit. Sex is much more of a mental thing for women than it is for men. Sha'Carri's voice ain't that bad. Hi, my name is Sha'Carri. She takes advantage of the fact that she's little. That's how I know she do. A lot of that stuff is intentional way she presents herself. No, Sha'Carri need a nigga to beat her ass. That's what she need. Charleston White ain't wrong about that. Some women need that. Some women need niggas that are willing to put their hands on them. A lot of women crave that shit. They're like broken bucks. For real. Yeah. It's like you can tell she didn't realize that why do you think the cops are there? You were with him. So clearly he didn't call them. Like, this bitch. Yeah, I didn't even see that part. I only saw just the part where she was talking shit. You know, TikTok, like, they put, and them police knew what they were doing putting that shit out there. And, yeah, these white boys are gonna eat today. You about to throw some red meat out there. Nick Wood, see, this is black culture. Rihanna low-key wanted to get back with Chris Brown. Rihanna would have got back with Chris Brown if them white women wouldn't have told her, you won't have a career. You won't have a career. You get with him, if we even see you with him, you won't have a career. If you even get caught with him, you won't have a career. Oh, I know he was going to jump on it. He's been training for this. All them other videos has been practice. Honestly, that one with the kids, you know, that's something. Personally, he should put that on Patreon. But whatever. Ain't my channel. She tried it. She tried it. But them white Jewish women said, you won't have a career. They weren't playing with her. Because they were trying to raise money off of Chris Brown, off that situation. And you undermine that. They're like, you will not have a career. And you gotta remember, that's probably one of the big reasons why Rihanna was hoeing like she was. Because after that situation, Rihanna was just fucking. And then she got with A$AP Rocky. Why'd she get with A$AP Rocky? Well, first of all, she tried to get with A$AP Rocky earlier. A$AP Rocky actually wasn't feeling her. She tried to get with A$AP Rocky like 10 years ago. Or 14 years ago before she blew up with Fenty. A$AP Rocky liked her, but he wasn't willing to come out these streets. A$AP Rocky was kind of low-key cool with her. But A$AP Rocky wasn't, I won't say he wasn't feeling her, but A$AP Rocky was not sweating her at all. And so it kind of worked out. And then, you know, Chris Brown got, you know, Karrueche, and then Karrueche betrayed him. Karrueche low-key pulled what that chick pulled, Sam pulled on Tyrese, except they didn't get married. She beat on me. Like straight up, I'm sorry. Like, and the problem is, if you put your hands on a woman, they can always remix that into you beating their ass. Even if they put their hands on you first. A lot of times, they bait you into doing that. And that's the problem. And that's why a lot of dudes, it's going to be like, yo, if you show you about to do that, you're gone. You're gone. Because you're not going to have me. I'm going to always be able to have a lie detector test and say, I never put my hands on you. Once you cross that bridge and I can't pass that, or I think I'm like real close to not being able to pass it, you're gone. You're gone. And people got to stand on that. Look at what DDG's dealing with. You say what you want to about Myron, and I get it. But these bitches are full of shit too, and DDG uniquely knows that. A lot of these niggas, y'all play with these hoes and don't understand these hoes are playing a different game. You're playing with these hoes, and these hoes are playing a different game. They trying to get over. Dudes like DDG don't think about it because he's not competing with women. But women are competing with you. As a young nigga, to speak in young dude terms, a lot of dudes are like bosses on Elden Ring, and these hoes be getting hella frustrated. And if they gotta cheat to win, they'll cheat. They will cheat. And I mean like lie. Yeah, man, I understand that. But I'm DDG though. I'm that nigga. I get hoes. Absolutely, my nigga. And ain't no hate in my blood. But here's the problem with you getting a lot of hoes. You get a lot of hoes, that means you get a lot of opportunities to be fucked. You get a lot of opportunities for these women to be lying. And it only takes a couple. Deshaun Watson got a lot of hoes. That's how he caught a lot of those massage issues. It only takes one. Trey Songz got a lot of hoes. Look at what he's dealing with. Get a lot of hoes don't mean shit. You got a whole bunch of jealous bitches that operate out of their position. Exactly. That's what you get for having black women do that shit. If you had Asians do that shit like a normal motherfucker, you wouldn't have got them charges. That's also kind of what you get for eating, for shitting where you eat. Man, I want to give money to sisters because I want sisters to do a hand job on my dick. Not understanding that since black women don't believe in discretion for real, not like other groups do. I mean, luckily he got all that money. So Deshaun Watson is good because Deshaun Watson don't strike me as somebody spending his money. I mean, he pretty much done. I mean, Deshaun Watson, like really this year is really an advertisement. Deshaun Watson, I don't know. If he gets hurt again, I think he's done. But Deshaun Watson is good enough to where I can see somebody giving him something. But it's kind of like, at that point, you just on a team to be on a team. Ain't nobody about to pay you anything close to what you've been getting. Because why? You a hurt risk. You got all your money. You made your money. Ain't he a black quarterback? You know, they look to get black quarterbacks out of here as fast as they can. I used to do fantasy sports. I used to do fantasy sports for basketball. My brother does it for football. I mean, the only reason... Hold on one second. Deshaun Watson is 29 years old. So, I mean, he do got time to where... But the problem is, like if you try to put somebody... But the problem is, it's kind of like... Why get him when you can get... I mean... That's what being a hurt risk... Oh, shit. Forgot about that. That's what being a hurt risk can fuck you up. I ain't gonna hold you. I need to eat more vegetables. Anyway, y'all, make sure y'all check out that Patreon if y'all are in my Patreon already. As far as Discord, like I said, man, if y'all put Discord in the comment section, I'll email me. I'll give you my email, and then you email me saying the Discord, I'll give you the link. Discord is lit, like about 50 posts a day. You know, people is mad stuff in there. It's not just, my Discord is not just a, you know, general, like I actually got like 10, 15 different topics. I got, you know, obviously generals where we talk about like up-to-date news, Today in the Sphere, which is kind of like a focus on manosphere stuff, Females Corner, which is where I kind of do the female content as far as like where the female posts where like if it's Shay Sade or something like that. Some of that stuff could be in general too. AI, geekdom, sports, politics, all that stuff is categorized. So I probably got one of the most active Discord. I'm gonna keep it real with you. I probably got one of the most active Discords in the space. Like real talk, especially at our level, like there's not like you blowing up. And shout out to you. Those are credit to is you know who all y'all know who y'all are. So we do voice chats usually about once a week, sometimes once every like 10 days. I need to get more into that. To get that stuff recorded and stuff. But yeah. No, it really ain't hard to eat healthy. You just gotta I ain't even gonna act like you gotta be intentional about it. Honestly, me personally, I don't have as many excuses as other people do. So I just gotta be intentional about it. Basically, the key so and I ain't go front, is this dude, man. I'll say this. The key thing is minimize like really not eating at night. You know, I need to get to the point where I don't eat after 8, not eating at night. So your eating cycle, wherever you work, blah, blah, 8 in the morning, 8 at night, not eating overnight, drinking more water. I drink a good amount of water, but drinking more water. I like iced tea, like that Lipton diet tea, because it has a taste to it, but it's basically water and no calories. There's actually liquid calories is what you need to carve out as much as you can. If you can carve out liquid calories, you know, you usually, you know, doing something. And then, you know, cut out bread too. Minimize carbs, because you always gonna get a lot of carbs because of the nature of the United States. So minimize carbs, and then, you know, get better about food prepping, so stuff is grab and go. So pick 2 days out of the week. That way the stuff is not usually 3 days out. And yeah, that's really all. And if you do eat fast food, you know, Chick-fil-A, don't get potatoes. You know, try not to get potatoes. You know, Subway, you know, different. There's ways to do shit. You just gotta be intentional about it. And I'm not as intentional as I need to be. That's really what it is. And it's really knowing what your calorie, based on what your activity level is, how many calories you take in. Yeah. And I mean, that may be true for you. I'm just saying for me, you know, and I'm 38. Like, when you get, look, the thing about it is, when you get, like, develop these habits really in your 20s, but really like 33, 30, 32, 33, you really need to have these habits down packed, because the thing is, like, you know, the older you get, a lot of that stuff catches up with you when you're 50. Like me, I want to get this shit like on point now. Yeah, intermittent fasting is good too. It really is, especially intermittent fasting. Yeah, and a lot of it is the habits. I've seen, yeah, so it is, you know, so, yeah, I mean, that's why I like to tell you practical stuff. Like little things, like when you eat a sandwich, get the cheese out of it, whether it's a sandwich, you know, boar's head is really good. I like boar's head. So I put boar's head if I put it in a salad, or I put boar's head, you know, as far as sandwich, I mean, it's definitely, dude. It depends on your area too. I'm in a very plentiful area for stuff like that, you know. But yeah, another thing I got is a place called Chopped. That's funny with how we use the word Chopped now, but it's a place called Chopped where it's like a salad place. Like, it's literally kind of like one of these kind of Panera, PDQ type franchise. These places, you know, gentrification is happening if you see it. But usually Chop comes in on the back end once it's already been done. And basically, and they hire felons, and they hire younger people too. They hire black men too, which is cool. It's actually, it basically is a salad place. So I literally can go in an app. Actually, I'm about to start doing that again. That's my issue. I'm about to just start doing that. I can, because I was just getting this stuff and cutting it up myself, but fuck that. I'm about to start doing that with Chop. I can just go in the app, reorder, get the same thing I get, you know, them green onions, carrots, tomato, you know, spinach, and lettuce cut. It's cut up really good. It's a really big bowl. It's like a big bowl of salad. I'll take a picture of it and show you. And basically, I just go in there, pick it up. I don't even got to talk to nobody. Pay for it, pick it up, boom, I got it. And then that's the salad. So as far as my vegetables, I can always add that on to whatever I'm doing. So if I go get me, if I grill a pork chop or something like that, rather than having to worry about dealing with corn or all of that, I just do that. And if you do that without a carb, you cut, like, for real, it's that easy. And then, you know, I mean, if you're willing to pay for it, I mean, usually I can go, if I really did, usually if I can get away with that $30 a month, because those things to me $10, 10 times 3, so every 10 days, and I wouldn't do it like constantly. Really, just $20 a month. I just get to a month, just so when I get because I'll have vegetables and other stuff. Yeah. All right, you know, you got Cookout and stuff like that too, and even with Cookout, I mean, there's ways to mitigate certain shit. Like, you just get you a set. Another thing is, get those baked Lay's potato chips. Those are better than the other potato chips, and then get those rather than the fries. Or, you know, there's different stuff you can do if you're really intentional about it, and you ain't gotta constantly be. It's just the habits. Even with Panera Bread, you know, I just had, you know, I could have got an apple versus the bread, but I wanted the bread, you know, tomato soup. I'm good for a minute. And it's different for everybody because y'all are bigger than me, so, you know. So anyway, y'all, it's been great. You know, I'll let y'all know. Be looking out for my videos, because I do got other videos coming out. You know, I'm about to start trying to rapidly put this stuff out. I kind of got a good, like, thing about it, because really, man, the lives are great and the lives are not going to stop. But ultimately, you know, it's easier to digest my information when I cut it up into, like, videos and shit like that. It just is. And, you know, yeah, Cookout, yep. Yeah, I'd be White Castle fiend if I was in Nashville. That's the closest place to White Castle. But appreciate everything. With that being said, this is Edward signing off. Peace.